Welcome to Set Free 24/7. My name is Robert, and I'm happy that you're here tonight. We are reading through a chapter of Proverbs a day to keep the police away. Today we're on day number 20. This is almost a habit. I don't know if you think it's a good one or a bad one, but here we are. We're on the cusp of this being a habit. And we read a study, a couple weeks ago, where they were talking about if you add in a little bit of Bible reading to your daily routine, that once you get to 4 times a week, stuff starts changing in your life. So, if I'm part of that process, if you're just giving this whole thing a try, seeing what it's all about, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I'm kind of figuring this whole thing out too, so I'm glad you're on the journey with me. So, we're going to read out of Proverbs chapter 20 here today. This one is titled Deep Water in the Heart. Wine makes you mean, and beer makes you quarrelsome. A staggering drunk is not much fun. Quick-tempered leaders are like mad dogs. Cross them and they bite your head off. It's a mark of good character to avert quarrels, but fools love to pick fights. A farmer that's too lazy to plant in the spring has nothing to harvest in the fall. Knowing what is right is like deep water in the heart. A wise person draws from the well within. Lots of people claim to be loyal and loving, but where on earth can you find one? God-loyal people living honest lives make it much easier for their children. Leaders who know their business and care keep a sharp eye out for the shoddy and cheap. For who among us can be trusted to be always diligent and honest? Switching price tags and padding the expense account are 2 things that God hates. Young people eventually reveal by their actions if their motives are on the up and up. Drinking from the chalice of knowledge is the title of this next section. Ears that hear and eyes that see. We get our basic equipment from God. Don't be too fond of sleep. You'll end up in the poorhouse. Wake up and get up, and then there will be food on the table. The shopper says, "That's junk. I'll take it off your hands, though," and then goes off boasting of the bargain. Drinking from the beautiful chalice of knowledge is better than adorning oneself with gold and rare gems. Hold tight to collateral on any loan given to a stranger. Beware of accepting what a transient has pawned. Stolen bread tastes sweet, but soon your mouth is full of gravel. Form your purpose by asking for counsel, and then carry it out using all the help that you can get. Gossips can't keep secrets, so never confide in blabbermouths. Anyone who curses father and mother extinguishes light and exists benighted. And then this last section of the proverb is titled The Very Steps We Take. A bonanza at the beginning is no guarantee of blessing at the end. Don't ever say, "I'll get you for that." Wait for God. He'll settle the score. God hates cheating in the marketplace. Rigged scales are an outrage. The very steps that we take come from God. Otherwise, how would we know where we're going? An impulsive vow is a trap. Later, you'll wish you could get out of it. After careful scrutiny, a wise leader makes a clean sweep of rebels and dolts. God is in charge of human life, watching and examining us inside and out. Love and truth form a good leader. Sound leadership is founded on loving integrity. Youth may be admired for vigor, but gray hair gives prestige to old age. And a good thrashing purges evil. Punishment goes deep within us. And friends, that's the end of chapter 20. Any verses that stood out to you here tonight? I love how Proverbs gives us all these little back and forths, and could be this way or could be that way. Which one of those spoke to you today? I had a few, and Eugene Peterson had a quick little pause about verse number 20. So verse number 20 again was, anyone who curses father and mother extinguishes light and exists benighted. So what he has to say here about that is, the most flagrant misuse of the gift of speech often happens within the confines of our own homes, and to a sobering end. For when we curse our parents, we are the ones who end up cursed. Our attempts to extinguish their light only extinguishes ours, and we are left to wander in the dark without the benefit of the light of their lives to guide us. So that was one of the verses that stood out to me. Also, a little bit closer to the beginning here, this was verse 11. Young people eventually reveal by their actions if their motives are on the up and up. I was so impressed this weekend at church. We had 14 baptisms this weekend. It was amazing to see everybody from all walks of life getting in the water. I mean, and it's what God has commanded us, but it was so beautiful to see these kids. I mean, 6 years old, 8 years old, 15 years old, 17 years old. Beautiful, making statements to everybody in the church, to people that they go to school with, just that this is the way that I am going to live my life. So when you see a young person at a church or something like that that's making that stand, support them, pray for them, be around them, and let them know that you are there if they have questions and if they need help along that walk. I mean, what a beautiful thing for them to be making that stand at this point in their life. So good for you guys. Last one was, a good thrashing purges evil. Punishment goes deep within us. This verse really just speaks to the whole, the punishment sometimes that we go through by exercising our free will, by allowing that to get the best of us sometimes and going into sin. Just because we're Christians doesn't mean that we're not going to pay consequences for some of our sin. It's like in the 12 steps where you're coming to that realization that what I'm doing right now isn't working, and I'm going to have to start making some amends for some of the things that I've done. So if you're on that journey, I applaud you for being on that journey. I've been there. I still am there. Recovery is something that we still do on a day-to-day basis. It's not like all of a sudden this is better. Part of me being better at this point in my life, 13 years later, is knowing the only way I can keep the gift that I have is by giving it away. And if you need some help along that journey, that's what we're here for. If you need some prayer, drop it down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to pray for you. It's an honor and a privilege to pray for people along this journey. So give this episode a like, a share. Somebody that's on that journey that just needs a little bit of encouragement, share this episode with them. I'd be happy to walk alongside them. So we'll see you tomorrow for chapter 21. And guess what? Tomorrow, if you're joining in, it's officially a habit. We'll see you then.